Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. You want to be able to predict fights like a boss? We're talking about MMA, the best sport on the planet. I'm not talking about some psychic mumbo-jumbo, but real data-driven analysis. We're gonna break down the essential steps to help you make informed predictions, man. It's gonna be wild. We're talking about predicting who's gonna win, how they're gonna win, when they're gonna win, the whole 9 yards. Whether you're a seasoned bettor or just a fan who loves to call the action, this is the guide for you. So grab your notebooks, buckle up, and get ready to dive deep into the world of MMA fight prediction. Let's do it! First things first, man, you gotta figure out what you're trying to predict. Are you trying to pick the winner straight up? That's the most common one. Or are you going deeper? Maybe you're trying to figure out how they're gonna win, knockout, TKO, submission, or decision. And then, there's the round predictions. Will it be an early finish, or are we going the distance? You can even get into the nitty-gritty and predict the exact round. That's some next-level stuff right there. Of course, you gotta pick the right fight to analyze. I'm talking about the main events, the title fights, the big showdowns, the ones where you've got a ton of data to work with. The more data you have, the better your predictions will be. So choose wisely, my friends. It's all about making smart choices. Alright, now that you know what you're looking for, it's time to gather intel on these fighters. We're talking about their fight records, their styles, how they've won in the past, their physical attributes, everything. You gotta look at their reach, their height, their weight, their age, it all matters. A young buck might have more stamina, but an older fighter might have more experience. You gotta weigh all those factors. Then there's the stats, striking accuracy, takedown defense, submission attempts. These numbers tell a story. They paint a picture of a fighter's strengths and weaknesses. Don't forget to check out their social media too. You can learn a lot about a fighter's mindset and preparation from their posts. Are they focused? Are they injured? Are they hanging out with Kanye West? You never know what you might find. Alright, so you've got the basic stats down. Now it's time to get into the nitty-gritty, their recent fights. I'm talking about their last 5 to 10 fights minimum. You gotta see how they're performing right now, not just how they did 5 years ago. Are they on a winning streak? Have they been knocked out cold recently? Did they get dominated in their last fight? These are all crucial factors to consider. And don't just look at the wins and losses, pay attention to how they won or lost. Was it a close fight? Did they get completely outclassed? The devil is in the details, my friends. Remember, momentum is a real thing in MMA. A fighter on a hot streak is a dangerous fighter no matter who they're facing. Now this is where it gets really interesting, the stylistic matchup. You've got your brawlers, your technicians, your grapplers, your strikers, and they all match up differently. A striker versus a grappler is a classic matchup, but there are so many variations within those styles. Is the striker a Muay Thai specialist or a kickboxer? Is the grappler a wrestler or a jiu-jitsu ace? These nuances can make all the difference. You gotta think about who dictates the pace of the fight. Is it the aggressor or the counter-striker? Who's going to be pushing the action and who's going to be reacting? And don't forget about the ground game. If the fight hits the mat, who has the advantage? Is one fighter a submission wizard while the other one is just trying to survive? These are the questions you gotta ask yourself. Now, we're getting into the stuff that the casual fans might miss. The external factors. These are the things that can make or break a fighter on fight night. First up, we've got the fight camp. Who are they training with? Are they working with the best coaches in the world, or are they stuck in a dingy gym somewhere? A good fight camp can make all the difference. Then there are the injuries. Is one fighter coming off a serious injury? Did they have to pull out of a fight recently? Injuries can linger, man, and they can definitely affect a fighter's performance. And let's not forget about the mental game. Is one fighter known for choking under pressure? Are they coming off a bad loss or a personal tragedy? The mind is a powerful tool, and it can be a fighter's greatest asset or their worst enemy. Listen, I know some of you are thinking, Joe, this is getting a little too technical for me, but trust me on this one. If you want to take your predictions to the next level, you gotta embrace the numbers. I'm talking about regression analysis, machine learning models, Poisson distribution for fight finishes, the whole shebang. These tools can help you identify patterns and trends that you might not be able to see with the naked eye. Now, I'm not saying you need to become a data scientist overnight. There are plenty of resources out there that can help you understand and use these models. You can find websites, articles, even YouTube videos that break it all down in plain English. The key is to find what works for you. Experiment with different models, see what kind of results you get, and adjust accordingly. It's all about finding an edge, my friends. Alright, you've done your research, you've analyzed the data, you've considered all the factors, now it's time to make the call. Who's gonna win? How are they gonna win? What round will it be? This is where your intuition comes into play. You've got all the information, now you gotta trust your gut. Don't overthink it, just go with your first instinct. Remember, there's no such thing as a sure thing in MMA. Anything can happen in there. But if you've done your homework, you'll be able to make an informed prediction that you can feel confident about. And hey, even if you're wrong, it's all part of the fun, right? The thrill of the fight, the unpredictability, that's what we love about MMA. Now for those of you who like to gamble, and let's be honest, who doesn't love a little action? The betting market can provide some valuable insights. The odds makers in Vegas are pretty good at what they do, and they often have access to information that the public doesn't. So, pay attention to the opening odds, but don't be afraid to shop around for the best lines. And remember, the odds can shift dramatically in the days and hours leading up to the fight, so it's always a good idea to stay informed. But here's the thing about betting, never bet more than you can afford to lose. It's just entertainment, folks, don't let it consume you. And if you do win, be sure to tip your bartender. So the fight is over, the dust has settled, and you're either celebrating a victory or licking your wounds. But no matter what the outcome, there's always something to be learned. Take some time to review your prediction. What did you get right? What did you get wrong? Were there any factors you overlooked? The more you analyze your process, the better you'll become at predicting fights. And don't be afraid to adjust your methods. The sport of MMA is constantly evolving, and so are the fighters. What worked yesterday might not work tomorrow. The key is to stay flexible, stay informed, and most importantly, stay passionate about the sport we all know and love. That's it, folks. We've covered a lot of ground today. We talked about everything from analyzing fight styles to embracing statistical models. Remember, predicting MMA fights is an art form, not a science. But with a little bit of knowledge and a lot of passion, you can definitely increase your chances of making accurate predictions. So go out there, do your research, and most importantly, have fun with it. And don't forget to let me know in the comments who you think is going to win the next big fight. I'm always down for a good debate. Until next time, peace out.